Hi everybody, it's Colin here from Woodthorp International. Right, what was in the roll? Well, at the moment the roll's not in, but I've got a bit out. And what it was, some insulation. That's what it was. Now somebody got that right, and somebody was nearly right, and two people were nearly right. But I've used this because there's stuff with like bubble wrap sealed with foil, and there's what we use in the trade, a real thick blanket. But I'm wanting to put plasterboard on it against the boards because I want to put a backscene up, and with it having the V joints in, I can't put the backscene straight onto that. Now I can put a board on, but cost-wise, I wanted something to help keep the warmth, and then plasterboard, some 4x3s, 9mm thick is the cheapest there is. But can you imagine this? That's sum up, and that is basically going to be the height of my back scene, because I want it to cover right up to the top there where the trees are, and then on that wall the back scene will be the full height of that. Now unfortunately this is not the right time of the year to ring a business to sort something out, because everybody wants to be jolly. No, I'm not saying I don't want to be jolly, but you know, when you're wanting to do something, it's a bit of a blow. So I can't sort it out until after the 5th of January to start organising a back scene for there. Now, I'm just going to flash a picture up to give you an idea. Now, the idea is right up to the ceiling on this idea, but it's not going to go there. It's only going to go to that height, which is 4 foot. And 4 foot for a back scene is quite high enough, really, isn't it? But I just want it to be higher than what the trees are there. So the picture I'll show you is an idea. It isn't going to be them. For one, in this case, the trees are too big, because I want to try and get the trees the same size as the trees on the hill. But it gives us an idea. So what else was the big change? So what else is the big change? The big change is I've had to tidy up. No, that's not it. Well, I have had to tidy up, but that isn't really it. You can see down here, I've spread the boxes out because it's time to start Japan. Now, unfortunately, Japan also has had to have a change of plan. I'll just move again. So that was the plan. Now, not forgetting, this area here has slightly changed due to the size I've made all this. So this length bit here is not really there now, because as you can see, I've only got from there to there in that distance, but it's just due to this being bigger, which I'm happy with. But that was the plan, and as you can see down here, that is my station area. Now you may also notice that there are no industries, and as I've said before, there isn't going to be. Japan is winter, Japan is going to be covered in snow, and it's just about running trains and stopping in a station. Now the station there is like the American wall, along this wall. But what I'm doing now, and this is a rough plan, just to give you an idea that the station is now going to be here, which is going to run across there, across here, because I want it to be closer to the front where I can reach, because I don't know if anybody's seen it, but when it's snowing and we do it here in a way, we put antifreeze in our water and they spray aeroplanes with a liquid. Well, when Japanese trains go through stations or certain areas, they spray it, and I assume it is with like an antifreeze, so the snow and the ice doesn't affect the train, because they need to keep the trains moving. You know, we can't keep them moving with a leaf on the track, but they can keep it with the snow on the track. So what I'm going to do is simulate the trains getting sprayed with what I assume is in antifreeze. So I need to be able to work at it in an easier access than right on that back wall. Now, as I said, that this planning did the same, because this is wider from there to there, and this is moved over this way, but it's just to give me a rough idea. And not forgetting, this is going to be an area what indicates the ocean, and this is also how Japan is going to get to the fiddle yard, and Europe is going to get to the fiddle yard on these tracks. So there's going to be like a decent bridge going up to the hole what goes through to the fiddle yard shed. This also, from about here, will not be scenic, but a lot, you know, it will be scenic so far. I don't know if I'll put a scenic break in or it'll just stop and I just won't film it. Decided yet, but that's just going to be a rough idea. But I just want to try and simulate, to make Japan special, is this de-icing thing. And I've got some ideas. Like America's got the big trestle bridge and the big mountain. England's going to have that big ship in it, the big dockyard. Europe is going to have a 9-platform terminus station. Because I've watched videos to do with Zurich station, and that's a terminus, and that just fascinates me. All the track work, mine ain't going to be as grand as that to get trains from in and out, but each platform will be able to get to any line, so it's going to be quite good track work. Little advantages: there's less points in Japan than there is in America, so it's going to be a little bit cheaper to build for the electronics, for iTrain and stuff. There might still be the same amount of blocks though, but that part I might not be able to save on. But it's time, basically, to start Japan. And what I'll probably end up doing is putting some temporary track down of Kato so I can run trains round and up here and then back down and round. And as I build a proper track in, take some of the Kato out and join it back onto the proper track further down the line, just to keep trains moving. And the helix, instead of having its own little circle just to get back up again, it will join, certainly on this side, the proper place. Over there, I don't know, because I'm not going that way just yet. I've only got enough boards, I think, to do round here. So that's the big change. The big change is it's moving on, the next stage. So I'll just film a couple of trains running round, and I hope you all have a fantastic Christmas. So happy Christmas to everybody, and thank you very much for watching. Bye for now. Bye.